Hi folks, CB3 here for another CB3 Live update. How do we find stocks for your portfolio? That's a question we get a lot. How do we find stocks for your portfolio? Well, one of the ways that we do it is through what are called screeners. So a screener is a piece of software where you plug in various constituents and say, I want a stock that has a rising trend line, or I want a stock in the technology sector, or I don't want a stock in pharmaceuticals. There are lots of ways that you can screen. You can include stocks and you can exclude stocks in screening. You can include certain countries and you can exclude certain countries. The great thing about the trading broker that we use, Interactive Brokers, is that we can trade on 138 exchanges worldwide looking for the very best ideas for you guys. So one of the tools we use, and you guys can see this in my interview with Toggle AI, which was done on the June CB3 Live show. So as you know, that's our main show. These updates that I'm doing are just sort of filling in the off weeks when I'm not doing one of my monthly shows. But go back to that June show and you'll see a much longer interview with Karan Kumar, who is one of the professionals there at Toggle. But we use Toggle and actually other AI tools as well to help us screen stocks. So we could put in a sentence that says, what happens to Chevron and Exxon if the price of crude oil goes up 5% in 2 weeks? Because that might be a good buy, it might be a good sell. We don't really know that. And what Toggle and other AI products, but specifically Toggle, does is it'll go out and it'll count the number of times that crude oil has risen 5% in 2 weeks. And it'll map those out for us to see, well, back in 1989, both those stocks went up 4%. In 1991, they actually went down. But in 1999, they both went up again 7%. And it'll give us a whole range of outcomes. And we can then make an assessment on, look, we know that this is what happened in the past. We can't guarantee that's what's going to happen in the future. But if it happens enough times in the past, even though just like everything else in investing, past performance does not guarantee future performance, it still stacks what we call favorability of outcome in our favor. And so that's why we use artificial intelligence in our screening process. The screening process is where we find the instruments, the stocks, the ETFs, the bonds, whatever currencies, commodities that go into your portfolio. Most of you are just trading our retirement program, so don't be concerned when you hear commodities and currencies. You're trading almost all stocks and occasionally a fund or a few ETFs here and there. But the screener is to help us find the best possible choices. And then once we place those assets in your portfolio, then our risk management strategies take over. And that's what we use to exit if we happen to be wrong, or we hope to hold it for years and years. And sometimes we hold it for well over a year if we happen to pick a great stock that just keeps on moving. But that's what screeners are. That's the selection process. I hope you found that interesting. I'm CB3. It's been a live update. You guys keep coming back to this channel and I'll keep bringing you what I hope is interesting information for you. We'll see you next time.